Okay, welcome everybody to the closing bell. For all our penny stock billionaires, we got stocks that are exploding right now. We got today's big movers, particular order, AIML, which you see up on the screen. We got Logic, LGIQ, which is LGIQ in Canada on the NEO end, and of course we got RHT, which is no longer a penny stock. This is what happens to all our winners. They start off as penny stocks and they become super stocks. So RHT, just 4 weeks ago, stock was 5 cents, 50 cents. If you were a subscriber on a Telegram channel, which by the way is free, click the link below. You would have basically doubled your money in the last, and this thing is just getting started. So, good time to take a look at this. So before we get started, quick disclaimer, you see below on the screen, none of this is advice. These are all high-risk stocks you could lose. There is a recommendation. This is paid content, as the stocks we're discussing are clients of Wall Street Reporter, Octagon Media Corp, and links all below for all the details. And again, if you want to join our Telegram channel or our Discord, the link in the video description below on our YouTube page right now. So we're gonna have AIML live stream this week. We're gonna have VSB, the VSBY, Visibility Group this week. We're going to have Logic this week. I think we may have a few others. Everybody's starting to come back. Okay, let's go to the main event. What's happening right now? AIML is breaking out. Take a look at this. So today, very pivotal day. As you can see, the stock is breaking out. It broke above that moving average, which was a key point of resistance, and it's doing it on big volume. Really, this is the biggest volume we have seen in probably 2 months almost. They got some good news coming out. We're going to have the company on our live stream this week. We're going to have the link up. They're going to be on either Wednesday or Thursday. Don't know yet, but it's going to be one of those days. So, to give you have a really nice setup over here, because if you look again, you've had this big, almost kind of a consolidation phase. And again, the longer stock is in consolidation, the bigger the move on the upside. Usually it's in direct proportion. So you've had essentially a 6-month holding pattern here. And once this thing breaks above, let's call it $1.50, I think we could see $3, maybe more on the stock, could be $4. That would not be out of the question. The market cap is still very low. So, I mean, what is it? So the market cap is nothing on this. I mean, and on the CSE, I think stocks, there's a lot of runway between, let's call it, 20 million, whatever the number is, and up to, 400, 500, 600 million. That's kind of where things are challenging for stocks. So we want to kind of get these, we want to pick these up right in that early stage. Let's see what is going on here. Let me just check something. Yeah, okay. So AIML, level of resistance on AIML is going to be around, let's call it 80 cents. So you got about a few pennies left to go before we hit some resistance. And let me just draw you the trend line. I don't think it's a key. It's not a major level of of resistance. I think it's relatively minor. I would say it's, let's call it I'm trying to draw this evenly, but it's right around. So 85 cents, somewhere around 85 cents. Once it breaks out of that, it's going to head to $1. A little bit of resistance at $1. After that, I think it's pretty much going to be escape velocity. So yeah, this is you're going to see some interesting things happening with AIML, I think, this week. And let's go to the next big winner that we have right now. That's Logic. Let's take a look what's happening with Logic. This is the big breakout I've been telling you about. It's happening right now. Logic, sometimes it takes a little while to get going, but once it gets going, this thing can really explode. It's a very thin stock. There's not a lot of shares out. It's pretty tight. This is the same pattern I don't know that people are kind of slow to pick up on this. Look what happened last time. You kind of saw the same pattern, which was right over here in last June, July. So we introduced the stock last year at, let's call it 350 or so. It ran straight to like pretty much, $10 within, a week or so. And then it hit $14. And I think, look, the pattern is going to repeat. We have this beautiful double bottom happening right now. The stock is lifting off. You might see a little bit of resistance at $5. Maybe even not. I don't think there's going to be any real resistance until we get to 750. So you get a pretty clear runway to 750 with the stock. So that's basically, and I'm looking at the US chart, by the way. This is the US chart. So Canadian, same symbol. It's a New. So, whatever in proportion to that. So this stock is up big. And again, look at the volume. The volume is kicking in. You've been seeing volume picking up in the last week. So this is the breakout. If you want to do a quick close-up of this chart, this is a great pattern. This is kind of like this pennant formation. You had the breakout. And, I've been saying we're going to be breaking out of this. And when it goes, it goes. And that is what's, happening right now. I think, this thing could be $5 the next time we do one of these updates here. So, and I think I would not be surprised if Logic joins this list of winners that you see scrolling below. We've already had 7 10 baggers, last 18, 24 months. And I think we're going to have a couple more before the year is out. So we're going to have 10 10 baggers plus by the end of December. Logic would need to be $30 plus. It's possible. It might take a little while to get to $30, but I don't see any reason why it can't be $14, $15 very quickly. So, okay, so you only triple your money in a month. I know it's a tragedy, but yeah, I think that this thing moves, again, very, very quick. A look at what it's done in the past. I mean, the past is prelude. I mean, these things just repeat over and over again. These are patterns, man. So, and you see where the stock has been. Again, there was a split, so that kind of screws things up. But, this is, history repeats. Easy. I think we have an easy path to $20 plus. Again, this company, their goal is to get to 100 million revenue plus next run rate, 100 million run rate next 12 months. They're already at 38 million right now, not run rate, but actual revenues. They are transitioning their business, going to more to the digital marketing side, ad tech, bigger margins, and the market rewards that at 20x, 50x revenues. Let's say it's just 10x revenues. So this could be $1 billion valuation. 12 months, that would be roughly what is it? The stock is 80 million right now. So 10x from here. So yeah, it could be a $40 stock, if they do, again, 100 million of revenues times 10x, $1 billion, you divide it by, how many shares are going to have? Let's say 100 million by then. You're going to have, $1 billion valuation. And of course, stocks tend to, they get a little bit, oh, excuse me, did I do my math? How does wait, 100 million times 10, $1 billion. No, is it $10? Did I do my math? Did I just do my math wrong? That's a 10x, but I think it could be higher. So, because it's gonna go much beyond that. Sam asking a question. Again, everything here we talk about, by the way, is my opinion. It's opinion only. It's not official company information here. This is not the official Wall Street Reporter live stream. This is the Penny Stock Billionaires live stream. For those of you who want to be who want to become penny stock billionaires, which should be pretty easy to do. I mean, can you turn $1,000 into $1 billion? I think it's possible. All you got to do is do like 5 parlays in a row. We've had people who've done it. We've had people who've made, a couple $1 million starting with the, 1,000 or 2,000. Calvin Ting, that's just one guy who's come out of the woodwork. That'd be probably 100 more. So how do you turn $1,000 into $1 billion? I think it only takes five parlays. First 10 bagger becomes 10 grand. The second 10 bagger becomes 100 grand. Your third 10 bagger is $1 million. The fourth one is 10 million. The fifth 10 bagger, if you do 5 parlays in a row, that's 100 million. Number 6 is 1 billion. Can you do it? I think it's possible. I mean, in theory, look, we've already had, and it could be different combinations, because look, we've had stocks that are up 50 times, 50x, 20x, 15x. So it's very possible. I mean, look at this. Look, we've had, imagine if you would have started with $1,000, put that into CBDT, that became 50 grand, then you turned that into a 10 bagger in the next deal. That's 500 grand. The next one is 5 million. The number is add up. Okay, so your question on Trip. You know what? This is my opinion. This is not official information. Let me take a look at the Trip chart, because at this point I actually do have shares as part of the compensation we receive as part of the work that we did for them. We get paid. Well, it was an option, so I exercised the option. So again, I'm a little bit biased. I'm hoping the stock goes up crazy, because I have shares at this point, and I don't want to sell them here. You know what? My take on it is, my honest opinion is, I think it's better that they did not do the merger, and I think that was also the consensus with a lot of investors, because the market really is kind of rewarding pure play stocks, pure play psychedelics. I think the market likes the pure play psychedelic story with red light. That's what they started with. I think the road they need to go. They need to just build that business. So let's see what happens. Not a big reaction. The stock was down a little bit. So I think it's just been pretty quiet in the last 3 months. They haven't been doing anything really, any promotion or anything since they announced that merger. So let's see what happens. I have a feeling though that they probably have a backup plan in terms of, if that deal didn't go through, they may have another deal, maybe another site. I'm sure they have something else as a backup to create some value here. So that is Trip. But let me go back to the stocks that we are focused on right now. So I showed you the AIML chart, right? That's looking amazing. I showed you the logic chart. That is looking amazing. And let's go to the highlight of the day. This is really, I shouldn't say the highlight, because logic is up percentage-wise the biggest, and it's been the slowest to move. Okay, so there you have, this is an old trend line here. And you see clearly the stock has been, technically it's been a slow uptrend, very, very slow trend line. Higher highs. If you notice, it's been making higher highs for the last 3 years. And now it broke clear out of that. So we're going parabolic here. Let me pull up RQHTF to give you a little bit better perspective. This is the American symbol. So to give you some sense of where the stock can go very easily, I believe, is we can easily top the old $2 level US. So that would be roughly 250 Canadian. And I think we can get there very quickly. If you look at the acceleration, you have this massive base, massive, beautiful base. And again, higher highs. So, higher lows. You get higher highs and higher lows in this whole basing period on this chart that you see. And now it broke clear out of there. And it is accelerating now. So we're really at kind of I would say this is kind of escape velocity here, because I don't really see any major resistance up until maybe $1.50. I don't think that's actually real. I don't think we're going to see any real resistance at that level even. Maybe a little bit. But really, this thing at this point is on a clear trajectory. I mean, this is on a clear trajectory to new highs by the end of the year. So I think we should be, 250 Canadian by December. Everything adds up. Great question, and I've asked that. She's explained it. I mean, this is what's happening. Look, how do you think that they're getting these revenues now? I mean, if their revenues are increasing, they went from break even to they're becoming profitable at this point. That's a result of onboarding. So the onboarding process has started. I would say, they're probably not gonna push. I don't think they're gonna be they're gonna make they're not gonna make huge projections about how quickly the onboarding is gonna happen, because some of these things are kind of out of their control. I mean, if you look what happened last year, they got delayed by the whole COVID thing. So they couldn't do any onboarding while the COVID thing was happening. And that just, 5 months really since, really since the vaccines came out. So you're talking about really February, March of this year. So you're starting to see, they're starting to reap the fruits of their labors. Everybody's a skeptic. You're going to see. I mean, you're going to see in this quarter. I mean, the numbers are going to be there or they're not going to be there. But listen, I can tell you this. Who cares what the company says, right? Whatever. I can tell you this much. Charts don't lie. Okay. This is why this program, this chart stuff, I really focus on the charts. I try not to talk too much about fundamentals, because I let the companies talk about the fundamentals. I'm thinking maybe doing a little bit about fundamentals only to, look, some people like to hear that stuff, which is good, but the charts tell you the truth in advance. Why? I mean, you see it happen every time, right? Why is the stock taking off? I mean, why did the stock start moving over here back at the 37 cents US? It broke out of there before the company announced that they were turning profitable, right? So the market is a forward-looking animal. So, and what the market is telling you, what this chart is telling you, very simply, this chart is telling you that the stock is breaking out, it's going up, and it's accelerating. And if you look at the steep angle, there is real significant interest in the stock and also the volume, right? So this is the US. The US is not showing you, you can't really see so much volume here. Let me show you the Canadian one. And there you go. Volume is in Canada, right? You could see what's been going on, right? So look, the cat is out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. Dino is buying the Canadian shares. The Canadian shares right now. Whoa, shit. Sorry, I kind of spaced out. I didn't even notice that we're at $1.16. There you go, man. I mean, what can I tell you? The charts don't lie, Tobias. I can tell you, man. I mean, I'm at the end of the day, I really don't care what the companies say. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this in the live stream. I discount everything company says. To me, the chart tells you the truth. I mean, it works that way always. I mean, how many times have you seen companies say, "Oh, things are going great, and we're going to make whatever," and then you see the charts start to falter, right? It's the way it is. Tailwinds, yeah. Hang on, we froze. Okay. Okay, so this guy must be in the medical business. Yeah, well, listen, here's the thing. This is what, by the way, this is the value of this business, is there's a big moat. Doctors are conservative. So obviously they're getting the numbers, right? They're getting enough. Here's the way I would look at it. Again, I don't want to discount. I agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't want to discount the fundamentals and all that. But apparently, look, why does the market value some companies 100x, 100x? Why do they climb to those numbers? The market is apparently excited. I mean, forget about my opinion, your opinion. This is where the market is going. Go where the puck is going. Don't chase after it, right? So with the chart, I agree it's difficult, but apparently they're getting traction because that's what the chart is telling us. The chart is telling us what's going on. Do me a favor. Next time she's on, please, ask these questions. I would rather you ask them because I like to have audience questions. I mean, I like, it's better when it's an audience question because it's more, it's just better. But yeah, these are all, good questions. Apparently the market, is likes what's going on. And again, it's telling the truth in advance. We've seen this over and over again. I mean, how come we've seen like stocks? I mean, I can go through how many lists of things which took off months before like earnings came out, and the stocks took off well of the. Again, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? By the time these guys actually show the good numbers, I would say by the time they show 25 million run rate in December, you probably want to take some profits at that point because by then the stock might be $3 and it'll probably consolidate for a couple of months until the next milestone. That's just the way it works. That's just the way these things work, right? So this thing is looking amazing here. It's a freight train. This thing is just like a freight train barreling down. We'll probably see a little bit. This thing is not going to go straight parabolic. I think it'll kind of level out a little bit, maybe consolidate to the $1.25 range or $1.50, and then break out of there. So let me take a quick look again. Yeah, so you might see, I think it might settle in this kind of range, $1.20, catch its breath for a few weeks. It might catch its breath, for September, possibly. And then look at this, we're making new highs. Yeah, there's a lot of tailwinds. So it's an amazing thing that, so many times you see these like pioneering companies, and everybody and their brother-in-law says, "Hey, I want to get into the ground floor. I want to get into the ground floor. I want to get in when the opportunity knocks. they're busy. Oh, they got other guests in the house. They're whatever. So these guys, they've been at this game for years now. Before the whole telemedicine thing was hot, before all this nonsense of telemedicine, before stocks like CloudMD and Well Health and all those guys started taking off, these guys are at it. They're not doing roll-ups. This is not a roll-up play. It's a pure play telehealth deal, which is what makes it valuable. I was listening to an interesting interview with a guy. He's actually a Canadian guy. He's a guy who says, the guy there's a book called Built to Sell. I just heard an interview with this guy, Built to Sell. He's a Canadian guy. He's like an investment banker. He became an investment banker. He was a research guy before. He had a research business. And he had something very interesting. He says, look, if you're selling a business, to maximize the price that you got to have one thing. It's got to be a focused offering. You don't want to start cross-selling or this or that. One product, one thing. That's the thing that becomes valuable. And even though you might be giving up a little bit of revenues, so you're not cross-selling a trillion different things, that one thing is the thing that's going to, that a strategic buyer will pay for. So yes, please join us. I think she might be back this week. Maybe. I'm going to see. I haven't talked to her. Maybe this week. So these guys it's a pure play in the telehealth space. How valuable is this going to be? Like you said, very difficult to get doctors to onboard. That's why these companies are worth 50 times the revenues. That's why, what is it called? Teladoc paid, massive multiple for Livongo. The things that are difficult are the things that are valuable. So you get this massive moat that these guys are building. It's a snowball. I think by the time they get to 100,000 patients onboarded, which is, she's saying it's going to be roughly a year from now. So again, I think that's what I'm not putting words, so that's my understanding. You're going to have a multi-billion-dollar valuation. I mean, the market is going to go crazy. I mean, could a company like Teladoc pay $5 billion for Relic? Why not? I'm only looking on the chart. The chart is telling me that things are looking good, right? So again, I always discount everything anyway, right? So even if they don't get to, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the great thing about this stock. The beautiful thing about Relic is that this thing, nobody believes. I mean, like at this point, there's no Kool-Aid drinkers. It's not like if you go, again, to get an idea of the sentiment, go on the CEO.ca, Yahoo, whatever, you're going to see a ton of haters. The ratio is probably 10 to 1. Or maybe those are the loudest. There's probably 2 or 3 guys that are very loud. So most of the messages are negative, right? There's no Kool-Aid drinkers. If you do a contrast that with, I don't know, some of the stocks that went up 50x, CBDT, back when CBDT hit 50 cents, $1, $2. Everybody was drinking a Kool-Aid at that point, right? But when CBDT was a nickel, 8 cents, there were no believers. Maybe a few hardcore, At this point, it's been completely discounted. The market believes nothing of Relic. I mean, pretty much there's no Kool-Aid drinkers. There's no like hardcore believers. There's a few people maybe recently, whatever, but there's no Kool-Aid drinkers. So they have a very low threshold to meet. So she's saying, okay, we're gonna exit 2021 at a $24 million run rate, $2 million a month of revenues. Okay, so let's say they only do half of that. I think the market will still be very happy, because impressive number where they're going to be making money. And the great thing is this, is the cash flow machine. It's a recurring revenue, it's a SaaS model, right? So you're not going to see dilution. You're not going to see big capital raises. I'm sure they're going to raise at some point, maybe towards December, if they have some blowout numbers. Okay, we got 4 minutes to the close. You got Relic here on the brink of greatness. On the brink of, can it make $1.25? Can the stock close at $1.25? We got 4 minutes left. Let's take a look at US Logic, giving back some gains, giving back a little bit of gains here. Let me look at the 50-minute chart. There you go, nice little pullback. Not quite to the moving average. Let me look at the 1 hour chart. Let me see what that's looking like. Yeah, this is actually looking pretty good. Bit of a, so you had a big jump, then you had a bit of a dump over here, and some profit taking apparently. I think you're starting to get day traders in the stock, and now you're leveling out. Okay, so it broke out from a 317 to 4. It's right. I mean, looks like a classic, just a slight retracement, 35% type of retracement here that we're seeing, which I think is pretty healthy. I'd like to see Relic do a little bit of a retracement because, it's a big move. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of a retracement. Probably, what's going to happen? I think my take on it is that this thing is just going to explode. It's going to go to like $1.50. $1.35, something really crazy in the next few days. And then it's going to pull back. It's going to have a sharp pullback. And, maybe it goes from $1.35 to like $1.10. And everybody's going to come out of the woodwork saying, oh, it's all over, it's all over. And then it's going to consolidate and then take off again. Okay, so we got Relic looking good. Logic, let's take a look at AIML. How are we doing towards the close? This stock is set up for a big move right now. Look at this. You got this. This is the 1 hour chart. Again, not a lot of data here yet, so it's hard to really analyze it because, again, not very liquid. But I think what we're seeing here is a very nice setup. Really nice setup for tomorrow. So you got a pennant flag pattern. It's wanting to break out 73 cents right now. I think we're going to close above $1 next couple days. Again, Tim, the chairman, right? He's the chairman. He's going to be on Wednesday or Thursday this week. I think he'll have some news. I think what these guys are really doing is they're basically doing a consolidation of these kind of telehealth, not even but health tech type platforms, anything that has to do with machine learning, AI, that's what they're doing. So they're going to have this kind of suite of assets, portfolio of assets. Again, that goes against what I was saying earlier, where it's just one solid focused offering, but the market likes that story. The market does as they're happening. So in the early stages. So look, if you got it on board with CloudMD in the early stage, like when we introduced it last year, or Well Health, Well is not one of our clients, but very similar, you'd have done quite well in the early stages. Okay, we are at the closing bell. The market is wrapping up. AIML, nice little move, closing nice, pretty solid close, up 14%. RHT, amazing setup. This is the 15-minute chart, short-term chart. You can kind of see what's going on. This thing is, you had the flag, you had that pennant flag, whatever you want to call it. You had the consolidation phase, right, for a couple of hours, and then boom, it just broke straight out of that, closing near the highs of the day. breaking above. I'm going to draw you a little little pattern here. So let's call it this over here. Okay, technically it's a little bit higher, but I'm using that because that's, you know, a little more weighted. So you can see what's going on. And look, let me do it again. Do you see what I'm showing you here right now? You know, it does these like flags, right? And then it breaks out, and then it goes higher again. You know, you have this period of up, consolidation, up, consolidation, up. It's like a stair. And yeah, so you want to watch for these type of patterns. Very, very bullish. And there was an earlier pattern, right? Right? I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. Really very bullish. You got the MACD line crossing over. So it's really shaping up a very, I mean, anybody that's like a swing trader, like a degenerate day trader, low life, this would be a good opportunity for them to get positioned, you know, today, whatever, near, you know, sometime today, blow it out like, you know, the next day or two, you know, make 30 cents, you know, and go on the next deal. Meanwhile, the thing goes to $3. But whatever, listen, some people like the action, so. And look, all volume is good at the end of the day. So the liquidity provided by day traders, I think, is very beneficial for the markets. Let me just see what else is going on. Let me do LG and E in Canada. How are we closing over here? Oh, bit of a sell-off towards the end of the day. Yeah, so this thing, you know, look at this, bit of a sell-off. It's interesting. Some of these stocks, it's like there's not a big conviction. Like people are nervous. It's like fans unite. Fans has very nervous shareholders. They get in, it moves a little bit. They sell. They're very nervous. It doesn't go in a straight line. Yeah, like what you see happening here, fans. So you're probably gonna, drop a little bit to, 75 cents. You can have a head and shoulders pattern, and then takes off. So again, fans, I am bullish on today. What is this? How do I clear this? Let me clear the drawing. Clear drawings. Interesting. Today's actually this is not positive because we're below the moving average on fans right now. But I have a feeling it's just the way this thing works. It's just gonna do a key reversal, like just like a head fake, and then it goes straight back up. It's again that's the personality of that stock. It has a lot of nervous shareholders, and the market likes to shake them out before it makes a move. So here we go. AIML, beautiful setup for tomorrow. This is the daily chart. Again, this is the Canadian chart. You can see very bullish, clear breakout right above that moving average. Very solid trading action, nice volume. 14%. I mean, this is a conviction. That's a conviction rally. Closes above 85 cents. That's the next level we got to be looking at. 85 cents is where your resistance is going to be. Once it blows out of 85 cents, it's onwards and upwards. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Dino, and I will see you all in the next live stream. Again, make sure you subscribe to our channel and join the YouTube channel. Leave your comments down below. It helps the algorithm. You can say whatever you want. Whatever, just leave random comments. You should put in comments if anybody's watching the video afterwards. Put in the comments in the video, like saying like something like, get your vaccine, get your COVID vaccine now, things which Google likes. They like those algorithms. They like those type of things, which is probably going to boost. Okay, so this week, subscribe to the channel. We're going to have Logic on this week, VisB, AIML, and possibly a few others. We're getting into a very exciting time. I think September is going to be a massive, massive market. Stocks, we're going to see some massive moves, which you do not want to miss out on. So that said, thank you for joining. See you on the next live stream.